I'd say if I had a specialty, it would be in Ferraris, mainly out of nature. We had a sale at the Ferrari factory in 2007, so I'd live at the factory for 6 months every year. We had the sale for 3 years. I'd live there for 6 months a year putting together the sales and logistics. I worked with all the guys at the certification program. So I developed a keen knowledge and an interest towards the particular marque and the history, the racing pedigree and everything that went along with it. But in the auction business, you have to be diversified in your knowledge of any cars. You have to be prepared to answer questions from clients, anything from early brass cars to modern day supercars. So it's good to have a diversified knowledge of every make and model of car that there is. And also to have relationships with the experts of each individual field, So that being said, I've grown up in the car industry since I was a little kid, so I have a very good knowledge of many different cars, and I have an appreciation and understanding of the mechanical workings and everything else that go along with them. So it's an interesting hobby to be in, and you're constantly absorbing more information and learning from other people and everything else. So that's part of the experience of growing up in this business. The most memorable car I've sold at auction would be a 1969 Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman, and it had stayed in West Africa for over 35 years and was completely dilapidated. It was a complete restoration project, although the body and chassis and everything remained very intact. All the parts and components remained intact. There was no rust or anything because it was being held in a dry climate. It was a very, very complete restoration project. Come auction day, the car brought 310,000 pounds, and it was a classic case of auction fever. Two guys got going at it, and they bid the car up, and the top man won. So I was very happy with the result, and so was our company, and certainly the owner was. So that was a very memorable experience for me. It's fairly easy to keep busy in the collector car hobby, to be honest. It becomes more of a lifestyle than actually a job. Whether it's 8 o'clock in the morning speaking to somebody in Asia or Australia that's involved in the hobby, or spending Friday night at 9, 10 o'clock at night speaking to somebody in California who's just waking up. I mean, it keeps you rolling pretty much 24/7. Other things that I do to try and keep myself active and always keep absorbing and learning things is I stay involved in all the clubs in England and the various countries around the world. Ferrari clubs, the Bugatti Owners Club, the Bentley Drivers Club. I'm members of all those clubs. I go to race meetings on weekends. I go to swap meets. I love going to some of the U.S. auctions, particularly the American-style auctions, and also coming here, going to events like Goodwood and a lot of the classic Le Mans and the race meetings. They're spectacular events to go to as well. The market's been very good in the last couple of years. 2008 sort of took a bit of a lull, same with 2009. Probably got, in our business, I'd say was the worst year in recent memory. 2010 picked up. It was a very good year for us. We had a record year in 2010. And then this year, I think the market will stay buoyant. So far, prices have been good. Typically, the Arizona weekend kind of kicks off the car year. And prices were very strong. We set a new world record with the 300 SL Mercedes-Benz Gullwing. Various other auction houses did, spectacular. I see the collector car market in general moving forward, and I think this year will be a very good year. I think there'll be new records set, and I think that it's a very good time to be in the business for us, and it's also a very good time to be a collector, particularly if you hold cars or own cars or even looking to buy cars. I have a number of cars that I keep, mostly in Canada. Some very eclectic models. We have a 300 SL Roadster that I drive in the summer times. I recently purchased a Aaron's Fox, a 1929 Aaron's Fox fire truck. Spectacular looking fire truck, great big ball in the front, the ladder, the restoration's perfect. It's got gold leaf trim on it. It's a really spectacular car. I've just recently purchased a couple of very cool motorcycles. I bought a BMW. It's called an R51 RS, which is a special race bike by BMW. One of 3 bikes. It's in existence today, one of 3 built originally by the factory. My advice to new collectors would be, and this should be for all new collectors, is buy what you like. So you have to like it. You have to really enjoy it. And And you'll meet people, whatever type of car you get into, you'll meet people in that sort of genre that you'll have to get along with. So buy what you like, absolutely. That would be my number one suggestion. If you're an investor, then buy something that's very rare, very desirable, attractive, low production numbers, very good originality in terms of the engine, chassis, body matching. All of those sort of attributes is definitely things to look for. Thirdly, buy cars that generally are either very original or very restored. Other than that, do your research, do your homework. It's always good to educate yourself. Talk to other people in the industry. All the specialists, everybody at RM is very knowledgeable in their own right. So speak to us. We're open to discuss, sort of needs, what you should have, what you shouldn't have, what you should look out for.